afternoon, everyone. I'm the reporter for today. My topic all about is Republic Act 1068-7, Unified Student Financial Assistance System for Tertiary Education, UNIFAS Act. The UNIFAS Act establishes a unified student financial assistance system in the Philippines, providing scholarship grants and loans to promote access to quality education and develop talented individuals, while ensuring transparency and accountability in fund management. The Act aims to harmonize and strengthen existing programs with a focus on equity, efficiency, and coordination among implementing entities. So, the UNIPAS Act in the Philippines creates a unified system for student financial aid, offering scholarship, grants, and loans to improve access to quality education. It aims to harmonize existing programs, ensuring transparency, equity, efficiency, and the coordination among various implementing bodies to develop talented individuals. Next is title, policy, objectives, definition of terms, scope, and coverage. The Act, the Act is known as the Unified Student Financial Assistance System for Tertiary Education, or UNIFAS Act. The policy of the state is to promote social justice and provide citizen access to quality education. The objectives of the Act are to allocate and utilize government resources for students, ensure consistency and coordination of student financial assistance policies, promote equity in the distribution of assistance slots, produce highly qualified graduates, facilitate access to quality education for marginalized sectors, and assist students with liquidity issues. There are the objectives: efficiency, allocate and use government resources for student aid, ensure consistent and coordinated policies for financial assistance, promote equitable distribution of assistance slots, produce highly qualified graduates, improve access to quality education for marginalized groups, help students manage financial liquidity issues. Its definition of terms are provided including beneficiary cost of tertiary education, granting grant in aid, higher education, higher education institutions, scholarships, student loan, and more. The UNIFAS covers all existing modalities of student financial assistance programs to FAPS for tertiary education in both public and private institutions, including scholarship, grants and aid, student loans, and government programs in partnership with other stakeholders. The UNIPAS harmonizes and strengthens existing STUPAPs for greater efficiency and coordination among implementing entities. The board for UNIPAS will be responsible for implementing the Act and ensuring compliance with its policy and guidelines. Next is modalities of STUPAPs. A unified, approved, and expanded government-funded scholarship program will be instituted to develop talented students and enlarge the pool of world-class Filipino researchers, artists, innovators, thinkers, and leaders. The board will formulate policies and mechanisms for identifying scholarship beneficiaries based on objective indicators with priority given to beneficiaries under the Scholar ng Bayan Act. Grants and aids will be made available to students from poor families and marginalized sectors to improve equity and access to quality education. So, a new government-funded scholarship program will be established to nurture talented students and expand the number of top Filipino researchers, artists, innovators, thinkers, and the board will formulate policies and mechanisms for identifying grant and aid recipients based on objective indicators. The National Student Loan Program will be developed to provide qualified students with short-term and long-term financial assistance for tertiary education. The board will ensure the professionalization of the National Student Loan Program's management and establish accountability mechanism for loan repayments. Other modalities of STUPAPs may be developed by the board, implementing agency, SOX, and public TBIs in accordance with the board's standards and guidelines. So the board will create policies to identify grant and aid recipients using objective criteria. A national student loan program will be established to offer financial aid to qualified tertiary education students. The board will professionalize the management of this loan program and set up accountability measures for repayments. Other types of student financial assistance programs may be developed by the board, implementing agencies, state universities, and college, SOCs, and public technical vocational institutions, following set of standards and guidelines.
Eligibility of applicants and terms of availment. The board may direct eligible applicants to enroll in priority courses identified by the CHED or TISDA to avail of financial assistance. So, ang board na ang mag-direct o enroll sa mga applicants sa mga priority courses nga gi-identified sa CHED or TISDA para maka-avail sila sa financial assistance. So, reasonable terms and conditions of availment may be imposed by the board and or implementing agency prior to the grant of financial assistance. Sanction may be imposed on beneficiaries who violate the provisions of their contract. So, na-sanction ang mga beneficiaries if mo-violate sila sa provisions sa ilahang kontrata. Then, the UNIFAS Board. The UNIFAS Board will be created and attached to the CHED, composed of various government officials and representatives. The board will formulate and approve policies and strategies for UNIFAS, coordinate with implementing agencies, provide support to implementing agencies, prepare and approve budgets, promulgate guidelines for determining qualified beneficiaries, monitor and assess top-ups, and perform other necessary functions for the effective implementation of the Act. The board will hold regular meetings and maintain a quorum for transacting. The UNIFAS Board. A UNIFAS Secretariat will be created to support the board and its functions, headed by an executive director. So, ang executive director mao'y mo-coordinate sa staff-ups para ma-implement ang ilang various government agencies, then manage relations with partner agencies, provide technical inputs to the board, ensure the implementation of board decisions, and perform other duties assigned by the board. Then, financial management, reporting, and performance evaluation. Public funds allocated to staff-ups will be managed according to government accounting and auditing rules and regulations. Specialized process and procedures will be developed to enhance transparency and accountability in the management of staff-up funds. Implementing agencies will keep separate book of the accounts for the UNIFAS stock-up funds and submit mid-year and annual reports on financial statements and operations. The UNIFAS will be evaluated in terms of its impact to education outcomes, economic indicators, and contributions to community service and public good. A Congressional Oversight Committee will be created to oversee the implementation of the Act and review the Book of Accounts of the Board. The Board will submit financial statement and other documents to the Congressional Oversight Committee on a periodic basis. Appropriation. The initial funding for the creation of the board and secretariat and the implementation of the Act will be charged against the current year appropriations of the SHED. The budget for the implementation of existing stock-ups and any new modalities will be charged against the budget of the implementing agencies. Subsequent funding for continued implementation of the Act will be included in the Annual General Appropriation Act. Other sources of funds, such as grants, donations, and assistance from local and foreign entities, may be topped and facilitated by the board, subject to auditing guidelines and procedures. Then implementation. The board will continue itself and promulgate the implementing rules and regulations within 60 days from its constitutions. Then miscellaneous provisions. If any provisions of the Act is declared unconstitutional or invalid, effective parts of provision will continue to be in full force and effect. The Act does not diminish, impair, or repeal rights recognized under existing laws for disadvantaged, marginalized, or specific sectors. All laws, executive orders, and regulations inconsistent with the Act are repealed or modified accordingly. The Act will take effect 15 days after its publication in the official gazette or a newspaper of general circulation. And that will be all. Thank you.